Texas Congressman Lance Gooden. Congressman, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. Good morning.
Good morning. What do the headlines say this time tomorrow morning?
I sure hope that they say we prevailed in Georgia and it's over, but I suspect the headlines will be something of the sort that Georgia is too close to finish. It's too late to be. It's too close. They can't call it. I really don't know. I'm so tired of predicting and being wrong, so I hate to predict.
Sure.
But I can predict that Republicans are going to turn out big today. I think we will retain these seats, and the fact that Democrats are just barely leading in the polling that we're seeing encourages me. You know, usually before Election Day or on Election Day, name your Democratic candidate, they're up by 10 points. And so the fact that the polls only have them up by maybe 1 or 2 points is encouraging to me.
Listening to your optimism for the Republican Party leads me to this thought. Texas is obviously your home state. Socialism in elections died a pretty quick death there. You think that fear of socialism is getting through to the Georgia voter?
I do, and I think the Georgians are upset about what happened in November. I think this talk about Georgians being frustrated and not turning out and as an active protest is crazy. Georgians are not dumb. They're actually turning out in record numbers. They know what's at stake. Republicans in Georgia know that the future of our nation is on the line, and it runs through Georgia tonight. And so I think we'll be pleased with the result. The president's done a great job turning out the vote there. His rally last night was encouraging. People are fired up in Georgia. It's very similar to Texas. The electorate in Georgia mirrors it in many ways. And so I think the people of Georgia are really turning out en masse. And I think Republicans are absolutely keeping up with the Stacey Abrams voters that she's trucking to the polls.
Yeah, I mean, so many people have already voted. I think it's more than 3 million at this point. What does that say to you, those early voter numbers?
You know, I think that's encouraging. I think that we'll see a huge turnout today, though on Election Day. Republicans have really started to vote on Election Day. They're very critical and questioning of the mail ballot process, rightly so, with the Secretary of State you've got down there in Georgia. But I think that you'll see a record turnout on Election Day today, and I'm going to keep calm when those numbers come out hugely in our favor tonight. I do know that the absentee ballots will be rolling in, and I think it'll be much more difficult for the other side to manipulate the numbers on the back end this time with people watching so closely.
Meantime, Hillary Clinton is branding GOP lawmakers that contest the Electoral College results as, quote, opponents of democracy. Here's the full tweet. Georgia voters, along with a clear majority of Americans, chose Joe Biden to be their president. Trump can't change that no matter how many oaths he breaks. GOP legislators who side with his attempts to overturn a free and fair election out themselves as opponents of democracy. Congressman, you are one of those GOP congressmen. What's your response?
Well, I have two things. One, there's no greater sore loser in all of American history than Hillary Clinton. And two, when you read that quote to me, you could replace Hillary Clinton with Mitt Romney or many of my Republican colleagues, and I wouldn't know who said it. And that's one of the frustrations among Americans that are watching this unfold and what's happening with the Electoral College vote in the next 24 hours. The Republicans that are refusing to get on board are saying the same things that Hillary Clinton's saying. And I think that's unfortunate, because anyone that wants to investigate and uncover ballot fraud and get answers to questions that have continued to be asked since Election Day, and unanswered questions that have continued to just kind of linger out there. When we're asking these questions, when we say we want an investigation, we are told that we're un-American or unconstitutional, right, or discouraging the democratic process. That's crazy to me, and I'm really disappointed in many Republicans, not just Hillary Clinton, that refuse to say, hey, let's get the facts out there.
Congressman Lance Gooden, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. Have a good day.